Welcome to Backer Pause. What is Backer Pause? Well, it's when we get judges who are creators to sit down and watch crowdfunding videos that we are proudly advocating for on comicbookadvocates.com. And they hit pause when they lose interest in the videos that we are watching and experience Backer Pause. This is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans of the viewers and what works and does not work for their videos. Want to be a judge? Are you ready to play? Welcome to Backer Pause. And I am joined by the one, the only Doll. But before we have this conversation, we want to play our warning. So this is our disclaimer. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, Josh, you ready to go?
I'm always ready.
All right, so here's my good friend. I've known Josh for a long time. Josh, tell him who you are.
My name is Josh Dahl. I am a personal finance professional. I also work in comics, or have worked in comics. I've got some pretty solid experience with crowdfunding and crowdfunding campaigns and the like. I'm super critical. I'm always right about everything I say. And I'm super mean when I say it.
That sounds about like Josh.
That's not, honestly, Rob, I want like this kind of show. Here's the thing. I know people kind of stress about this and the whole Kickstarter economy. I'm sorry, I'm just doing this right now, Rob. I apologize. It requires you to learn a different skill other than the skill of the thing you want to do. If you want to write or draw, sorry, buddy, now you got to learn to make a video. It's not too different than if the thing you needed to do was learn how to do freestyle rap. It's a completely different skill than making comics. So there's no reason somebody should come into this being already good at making compelling videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. That's why we have the show, right? We're trying to hopefully educate and make this entertaining. Look, no one wants to watch a show where people just talk about their crowdfunding. Everyone does that. And everyone winds up
correct.
And it gets boring. That's one of the reasons this show's been able to survive as long as it has, is it is interesting. Every week a new person gives a new opinion on a book. But then after 4 weeks of being on Kickstarter, when you keep hearing the same opinion week after week, you start to realize, hey, maybe I did screw up my video. Maybe
you know what? Not even screw up. It's like this, Rob. It's like if me, Josh Dahl, is your target audience, then this is going to be a very valuable experience because you'll see exactly where I'm tuning in or where I'm tuning out. If I'm not your target audience, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe, you know, like maybe your target audience completely disagrees with me. That's fine, but it's valuable to know that. You'll be able to look at that and go, yep, that's where we lost the Josh Dahls of the world. So it's cool. You know, whatever. It's valuable. I hope it's valuable.
Well, we're going to see. And
let's get to it.
Well, yeah, one of the things that are important, you know, is the fact that there's previews. We saw how bad it was when previews went away last year, right? A lot of people didn't get paid, didn't make money. This year, we're committed to talking about the things in preview, including Stake #2. This is a variant cover from A. Finiti. And this is in previews right now. After her careless solo mission nearly got her killed, Angel is set for re-education at the vampire bounty hunter school. This is FEB.
Hold on, Rob. I'm not seeing visuals here. Should I be seeing this?
Yeah, you should.
All right. Oh, okay. Keep going.
Okay. Because you're going to have to watch the video, right?
I know. Yes, I know. That's why I brought it up now.
So yeah, this is code FEB 211499. We're gonna let Josh figure out how he can see a video by.
It was a setting. Keep going.
Okay. All right. So while he figures that out, I'll quickly just play a quick video for you guys. And I'm really just going to play the Be a Pair just as a reminder, because this is the system that we're using for our actual award ceremony. So while Josh figures it out, here we go.
I'm in.
Oh, you're good?
Yep.
Oh, okay, then we can just, I was literally doing that just to stall. So
Okay.
Be a pair, be professional, be ethical, be genuine and authentic, and be professional. That's a pair. We're done. So now we can get on with the show. Here we go. Compendium of Dread. This is from actually my partner, not even just good friend, but my partner, Meredith Logren. So I want to see what Josh, remember, Josh, I can't hear you when we play the videos, because a lot of the videos we're going to play live in the StreamYard. So all you got to do is raise your hand. I'm being okay. You can raise your hand. And as soon as you do that, I'll just stop the video and we'll talk about what it is, because you're the only guest judge today. So here we go. The Compendium of Dread.
Hello? Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Welcome to the Compendium of Dread, an anthology of dark fiction that encompasses crime, horror, the paranormal.
Your perceptions of the world around you may forever be changed.
Okay. Right off the bat, you can hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Right off the bat, I love I mostly love the title card here. It's simple, compelling. The dark spots of blood are a little too dark on the black background, and it makes it so, and I'm watching on a slightly shrunken screen, but I can't quite read it. Right? If you didn't say that out loud, I'd be like, wait, but also I have bad eyesight, so that's the thing. It was short and compelling. The audio was very good. I wish I had been told a little more clearly what it physically is. Like compendium, anthology, collection, stories, like that could apply to almost any like genre. I would have liked a thing that says, when you back this campaign, you will get a comic book or a blah, 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 blah. Like just here's what the real thing actually is. Other than that, I mean, I didn't stop it. I enjoyed that.
Very cool. Actually, Meredith will be happy to hear that.
And I should also add for this one, I'm not really the target audience. That doesn't sound like something I would be super interested in reading. The one little, whenever a comic project says like that whatever that claim was, like, may change your view of the world. Well, that's the kind of thing where I kind of go, because I've heard too many times the new comics claim of like, get on board for the new revolution in creativity, and kind of it always falls flat. So that little tagline makes me a little skeptical, because I've been disappointed by that kind of tagline before.
Okay.
That's not that's not much of a criticism. It's just it was.
Yeah, I'm trying to walk away from any adjectives on my own work from now on. That's a great idea. I like that. Never talk about how I feel about it. Just sell it. Tell them what it is. Tell them what they're going to be buying. Let them know what they're getting.
When I get guided back to my own work, like if I'm talking about at a convention, I temper that by saying, one of the things I'm most proud of is blah, 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 blah. So that way it's fine. Still just, it's my opinion of my work. So I'm not saying like, everybody loves this part,
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, because you're one of the people. Actually, real quick thing here. I used to say that. Remember when I was back under Sinful Comics, I called them the other better comics, or the better indie comics, and I used to put wording like that. And at that point, I thought it was competitive. It was cool because it was different. They were unique comics. No one had the books I had about fetish monsters, and at that point, at the beginning of More, like you didn't have the mix of books I had on my table. But Josh was right. I was downplaying other people's works in there, and that could turn someone off as quick as it could do anything else. Plus, I was telling them how great I was without earning it. So
But you know what else, Rob? A little bit of that is regional and cultural, because you were doing those in Florida, and weirdly, kind of like with like hip hop, the Florida comics scene and culture is a lot more
competitive,
confrontational. Whereas, like, I know groups of creators up in New England who are like at our same level, doing our same thing, but they're like fully cooperative and working together, and it's different places do different things. You know what I mean? Like the Midwest has kind of like a factory style with their indie comics. It's just like put your head down and go, right? It's so you coming out of the Florida comics scene with a little bit of like, yeah, you boys making comics. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but I changed it actually after
because you started dipping your toes in like the broader thing, and then what made perfect sense to do while in Florida doesn't always make sense on a national scale.
Exactly, and that's why I suggest everyone to travel. While you travel, you see different pitches, you meet different environments, and you get to a point where you're a lot more comfortable with yourself. Because like Josh said, I hadn't even realized I picked up the things I did, but it was being in that environment. You get, whether you want to or not, you get indoctrinated into it. And the next thing you know, you're doing similar things, and it takes you being knocked out of that culture that you've just been indoctrinated in to see, oh, wait, maybe there is a better way where I don't have to box a fan and I can make the fan ask me questions. Because in the end, even your Kickstarter and Indiegogo videos should be making the creator, the fan, the backer, to ask questions and look through your actual crowdfunding page to see if they can find the answers, if they're going to back it.
And before we hit play on this, or alternately, if you know that and that's your niche, double down. You know what I mean? If you're the creator whose work really, really, really works in Brooklyn and nowhere else, and that's fine. Not everything needs to be scalable up to a global level. Rob, you and I were just talking about like the homey friendly feel of a city. So like, yeah, if that's where your thing lives and you want to look, whatever. Let's just do the next video. I'm sorry, I'm ranting again.
No, that all makes sense, and it's important. I like that kind of little tidbits that come out during the show.
All right,
get that. This is Recount. It's in previews right now. This is FEB 211495. This is a book that's eerily perfectly timed when they actually have a political recount. This is from Jonathan Hedrick. And alone inside the White House, President McDreamman and his special agent Bartera received threats. So, like, this is definitely, it's like Vendetta meets the, what is that? The Fallen, something has fallen.
Yeah, there's a series of those. Olympus has fallen.
Yeah. It's got that kind of feel for it. Now, I do want to preface this. Understand that Omni didn't have a video. He was on a show with me. I was doing an interview with J.W. Sims, and I was like, you need a video, dude. You just need one. It's just one of those things. You have to be there. I was like, here's what we're going to do. Because he said he didn't have video capability. He didn't have any way to edit a video. And I get that. Yeah, so I was like, we're going to do it live right now. So, mind you, this is filmed live in the middle of an interview of mine.
Nice.
So, it's not the best in the world, but I think we did good for the first take and the only.
Oh, Rob, I wish you hadn't prefaced it with that. I would have liked to have seen it raw without knowing the condition under which it was made.
I didn't want you to raise your hand too much.
Fair enough. Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Hi, this is Omni. In a world without heroes, devoid of hope, a god amongst men rises from the shadows of war to unleash righteous justice on all who suppress the weak and weary. It's not easy fighting evil, especially when the world fears the very man they've called upon to protect it. In this pulse-pounding limited series, Floyd Miller, a beleaguered comic book enthusiast, must find fortitude to thwart the world's greatest foes after being bestowed abilities beyond anyone's wildest dreams. Hi, and this is JW, co-creator of Omni, and I just want to tell you a little bit about it. Floyd Miller, he's just a comic book geek like you and I, who has a favorite comic book character, Mega. When he comes in contact with this mysterious rock, somehow he gets the powers and the looks of Mega. And the book just asks, what would happen if Omni came to our world? How would people react? Would they think he's a god? Would they be afraid of him? And would the governments of the world try to use Omni as a weapon against each other?
For more details, check out the Kickstarter. Thank you for watching. And we didn't know about the audio problem until it had already been recorded. He was already off air because it was one of those things we didn't hear in the StreamYard.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, honestly, that's pretty good. That seemed to be almost like checking the boxes and reading from a script. I don't recall if there was a super strong call to action at the end. I don't recall if there was call outs to specific backer levels. There weren't. That's a thing that should be included, but that's not what this is. This is about interest. So my note is mention backer levels, mention the campaign, mention the making of it, but that's not a fault. A little too much. I started to lose interest with all the detail on the backstory. That could have been punched up a little bit. Like, I didn't need to know that it was a magic rock. I could have just heard that, like, you know, mystical circumstances turn geek guy into super guy. Like that was just a little too much. Oh, also with that shot from the comic was a beautifully drawn panel of a comic shop. It hung on the screen a little too long and got visually boring. If there was like, if that would kind of like just floated across or was replaced with some more dynamic stuff, well, really, that's very good. That was.
I'm super impressed that he did that in one take, no prep, didn't know we were going to do it. I was just like, dude, we got to fix that. We at the end of an interview, this is the end of the interview, 30 minutes of me talking to him. I'm like, we're going to do this and we're going to make it happen now.
That's really impressive. I did not expect that to be off the cuff like that. Like the way he didn't stammer much or go like he
knows his product.
He clearly had an outline. Clearly had an outline, and that shows.
And he's been in the profession. He knows what he's doing. Like, he just showed that. And we do wish him a speedy recovery. He's just getting home from the hospital, believe it or not. Okay, so please support his Kickstarter. It was only like $200 away from the goal. We can make that happen in the next 2 days. Come on, guys. Share it. This is the Naked Cannibal Campers. Now, before you watch this video, I'm gonna give you a preface this again. Okay. They had this is based on an actual movie. So they use some of the music from the movie and some of the sounds from the movie. They're allowed to. When we played it, we got a copyright notice. We're not in trouble, but I had to go back out and edit out the sounds because of that. We're allowed to show the images, so there's nothing going to be playing. So that means our mics, I don't even think cut out because I cut the music. So we can talk over it while we watch this video. Okay. And also, you're going to notice these weird naked cannibal campers. That's for our Facebook and YouTube audience. We can't show nudity, even if it's art nudity. So with that in mind, you'll see some things flashing that I put in. You can watch the full unedited video on their profile or on their crowdfunding campaign. But we'll be able to watch this in entirety because we'll just talk over it while watching. So you can have real-time reactions to this because there's nothing, no sounds, there's no voiceovers, and there's no voiceover in the original one, so we're not cutting anything out.
Okay.
So here we go. This is the video. And like I said, we can talk during the whole thing. I don't like the beginnings when they start that thing there.
Okay, I like this. That's very horror movie, flashy. That little this kind of editing tells me what I'm in for. I enjoy that. Walks, magic battles, all right. I like cannibalism. Nice looking artwork.
You like cannibalism?
I like stories about cannibalism.
Okay, that sounds better.
And okay, now tell me what it is. Now tell me what I'm buying. Oh, not quite. Not what I wanted.
Yeah, we had said that.
So close. That was really good. That was really compelling. It was fast. I'm assuming you said there's no dialogue in the video?
We told him to add it. He hasn't added it yet, but he was on the show. His partner made the video. The creator behind this did, and he had said, he's like, yeah, we should get a voiceover, but you know, these things when they're made based on an actual movie, it makes sometimes harder even the dialogue that you put, because then you got to have a meeting about the approval about what it's going to be said. I was like, just read the pitch, just put in, because in the top, if you actually look over here, we'll scroll back up a little. Here's the pitch: Naked Cannibal Campers is a sexy horror story limited series. This is a movie adaptation, has gore, cannibalism, witchcraft, and some laughs. That right there is a pretty good pitch.
That is exactly what I wanted. It tells me exactly what it is, and it's a little bit undone by the movie credit thing at the end of the Kickstarter video, which seems cool. I get why they included that. Like it looks slick and cool, but it honestly confused me. It makes me think like, wait, am I paying for a movie? So the bit of text that you just read right there, where it's like, this is a comic book based on a movie. That's what I want to know. I want to know what I'm paying for. So
yeah, if they just had that at the very beginning, you would have been happy.
I would like it at the beginning and at the end. Like, I see it at the beginning and I don't pay attention because I'm not hooked to it yet. I get hooked by the sexy, cool video, and then I see at the end, oh yeah, comic books. I'd like those. All
right, so this is a double feature. So this is 2 in 1. I'm actually curious how you're gonna like being in a twofer video.
I like the look of it, but honestly, as soon as you said twofer, I'm already backing away.
I know, that's why I'm curious, because I know you. I know you well enough.
I know almost nothing about it. Like, from the artwork, from the look of it, from everything I see here, this looks like something I would enjoy. For some reason, it being a split thing makes me go,
Well, it is by Roland Man, and you're going to find out who he is if you don't know already as we watch this video. Remember, now when I'm going to let you raise your hand on the first video, and I'll mark the time, but we're going to let the other ones start to play too, since it's a two.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Roland Mann, and I run Silverline Comics, the genre-spanning independent comic and graphic novel publisher. And I'm here to tell you about our first Kickstarter for 2021. It's a double feature flip book. We've done a couple of those before. You probably remember them. Hopefully you do anyway. Well, this is our third one, and it features Teen Beetle #1 and Switchblade #1, the remix volume. So here's John Crowther to tell you about Teen Beetle.
Hi, my name is John Crowther. I'm the writer and creator of Teen Beetle. It's a 3-issue series I'm doing with Silverline Comics. It tells the tale of Blake Northrup. He's a teenager who has acquired the vitamin 2X. You might remember from the old Blue Beetle days. He's acquired it, and he has used it to transform himself into Teen Beetle. However, he's also awakened some evildoers, such as Dr. Mantis, who are set on grabbing that vitamin 2X and using it for their evil means. So hope you follow us. We've got some great art by Del Barris and some great colors by Jerry Lou Smith. We're on Kickstarter, and hope to have you aboard.
Thanks, John. But wait, there's more. On the flip side, we've got Switchblade #1. It's the remix. Some of you might remember the Switchblade was originally published in 1997 on newsprint. Yuck. We have digitally remastered every page, and the issue has been digitally colored by Aidan Belcher. So what is Switchblade? Well, let me tell you. Switchblade is the story of Scott Nathans, just a regular guy, but he's fed up with the failures in the justice systems. Seems like a lot of us today, right? Scott, who's a boxer in New Orleans, is pushed over the line when a local elementary-age girl is raped and murdered, and the killers get away, all because of a paperwork error. Scott takes it upon himself to see that justice is done and becomes a bit of a hero to the locals, but a vigilante operating outside of the law, and thus wanted by the police. And remember, both of these comics are completely finished. We could print them and ship them to you today, but that's where you come in. We need your help to get the funds so that we can print them and ship them to you. So, give us a look, pledge if you can, and if you can't pledge, you can still share. Tell all of your geeky, nerdy friends who like to read comics, go check it out. You can vouch for us, right? You're already familiar with Silverline, you can vouch for us. So thank you for your time, and remember, make mine Silverline.
All right, Josh, what'd you think?
really good. Everything about it was technically on point. It was really good. It didn't quite do it for me somehow. Who's that?
Oh, it's just
Okay.
people giving up.
Sure.
I'm showing that Mike's being a great guy and putting in the links for us.
Thank you. I don't know, Rob. What did you think of the just the video? You know, like what worked, what didn't?
Its pacing's off. First off, you should have put the Switchblade first because the high energy is the Teen Beetle. So you want to have your more high energy at the end. They should have mentioned that Teen Beetle is that Beetle part. Like in my mind, the first time I heard it, I was like, "Wait, are they now taking something that's copyrighted material?" I got stuck.
Right. It took me a minute to think about that and realize, yeah, that's probably public domain.
Yeah.
But then again, made me go like, I don't know, like it's.
Yeah, it tripped me up, right? That thing. Don't tell me about how it was part of something. Just tell me something. Don't expect me to know a vitamin. Just tell me.
Right. That could be down in the text, in the description thing, right?
Yeah.
It could be like, for fans of classic Blue Beetle, you know, it's a wink and a nod to old, like, that's cool. Yeah, you're right. That comment about the vitamin thing, like that turned me off a little bit. Again, probably not the target audience. Maybe they're saying our target audience is already existing Blue Beetle fans.
Yeah.
Which there might be a more effective way to reach them. I don't know.
Yeah, and I just think it's the pacing. You start with that Silverline thing, and I'm already worn out because now I spend that time instead of getting hooked on something, knowing okay, when's this going to be over? You know, like that to me is always one of those things.
Right. I would like to see a little bit tighter editing on the talk to the camera sections. Those are not. I mean, that's whatever. They are what they are. I would like to see those cut by a few seconds.
Yeah.
Right. And just some kind of music under it, even if it's just like canned, like just something to kind of like,
make the pace go better. There's a beat to it then.
Right. The content is good. I am interested a little bit. I like it, but you're right. If the pacing had been punchy, it would have definitely kept me focused on the video.
And I just hope that Roland made it out of the murder room because that big flat background makes me concerned for him. That distracted me. The first time I saw it, I was very distracted by that.
But if it was a little punchy, if it was a slightly better camera angle, maybe if it was punchy, you wouldn't spend time pausing thinking like, where is he? Is someone going to hurt him? You know, if it were kind of like in, out, or if it was interrupted with images from the comic or something like that put over it, you wouldn't be just staring at that blank space. That would be a great space to pop up some graphics, right? Like a weatherman point over there and be like, our backers will get A, B, and C. And we're introducing, you know, this bag, that sort of thing. I want to know more about the rewards. I want to know what I'm getting and how I'm getting it. The thing that really made me like go, ooh, was the mention of newsprint. When he was like, it's on newsprint. Yuck. I felt like, why? I love newsprint. Why are you telling me yuck?
And
clearly, a big draw of this, like the genre of that Switchblade comic, that's a total 70s, 80s, 90s underground comic. So the fans of that comic love newsprint. That's your brand. You're not this book isn't modern and cutting edge and hip. This book is like, not that it's not hip, but I'm saying this is like a genre throwback in a positive way. This is like, the people who are fans of this are fans of newsprint. So I would play that up. I'd say when this originally came out, it was on this awesome tactile newsprint. It feels so good, but those crumble. The newsprint doesn't last. So we've repackaged it into this beautiful new version for a new generation of fans. That sort of thing. Don't shit on newsprint.
I know. I want to get my comics in newsprint coming soon. We're working towards that.
Yeah.
I love newsprint.
Yeah.
Plus, it makes affordable. And speaking of great stuff coming out, Adventures of Byron, War of Rotisserie from Scoot Comics. Byron is back in the popular Adventures of Byron, returns with this all-new adventure, now available on previews, but the damn thing didn't pop up, the order code number. Look in the previews magazine. Let me see. I'll try to bring it up for us. Oh, here we go. Code February FEB 211501. And I'll go in and edit this so we have that for future shows. This is Fractured Shards, a 48-page crime graphic novel of quantum proportions from the creative mind of Dan I'm not saying that last name, Dan. I always screw it up. In a dystopian future, the world is separated into a glittering paradise of lights and slums of the district. This is Fractured Shards. Oops.
Hey, everybody.
We're going to play it over here. It's going to look better when we play it over here. Here we go. Take 2. Fractured Shards. Oh, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? My name is Dan Furigal, and this is my graphic novel.
My name is Detective Sebastian Vitro of the District Major Crimes Unit, and I see things.
Where are we going?
Horrible things.
You'll see.
When a moment in time fractures, a shard can avenge a life.
Sebastian. Sebastian.
Hey, how you doing? It's me again. I hope you enjoyed that trailer. So, I am here to formally welcome you to the Fractured Shards Kickstarter campaign. Now, as you saw in the trailer, Fractured Shards is set in a dystopian future where the world is separated into 2 very, very distinct groups: the opulence of the lights and the slums of the district. The hero of this piece is Sebastian Vitro. He's a detective for the District Major Crimes Unit who works as an enforcement officer between the 2 worlds. When a horrific event occurs, sometimes that moment in time can fracture. And that fractured moment, or shard, contains almost everything you need to see in that event. Detective Vitro can sense that shard. You see, Sebastian has the ability to tap into the quantum world where everything that has ever happened and will happen exists all at once. And with that, he can get a glimpse into the crime. But not all is as it seems. So, who would like this book? Fans of Judge Dredd, Transmetropolitan, Ronin, Ghost in the Shell, and other cyberpunk dystopian stories, as well as people who like the movies Blade Runner, Watchmen, Minority Report, and Dredd. If you like your comics with tons of action, mind-blowing visuals, quality feel and production, then this book is for you. We also have some amazing rewards. We have digital and physical versions of the graphic novel, variant covers, signature book plates, original artwork, getting yourself drawn into the book, and some once-in-a-lifetime experiences with me, like a Zoom call in a bathtub, if that's your sort of thing. So please, pledge your support for Fractured Shards, and thank you so much for taking the time to check out our Kickstarter.
That's it.
Yeah, that looked really good. I wish that the drop-in video at the end, the video with him standing there talking, I wish that had been slightly punchier. I wish it had been a little quicker. Oh, you know what it is? I didn't need the story recap again. That started to bore me. Other than that, like, this is a great video. No, I would have some other small critiques for different, like, stuff within it, story stuff or whatever, but that's just me, just because that's what I do. This one looks pretty good.
Very, very cool. All right. I think that we're in agreement on that. I will say this, though, the one thing you didn't mention that I'm surprised about, that beginning takes too long. I would have liked quicker beginning, but that's my ADHD. That is my ADHD.
You know what? I completely agree that wipe to black right away was really cool. Went on for 1 or 2 seconds too long. The typing scene actually worked pretty well to kind of build tension. I was watching like, what is going to come? Even though I knew what was going to be typed, basically, because it was the same text from the other place. It was still kind of like, but if that had been a little bit quicker or even cut out a little bit, like real good, could be a little bit punchier. I liked mentioning the weird, like the zoom in a tub. I don't think anyone's going to take that. But what it will do is it'll get people scrolling through the page to look for, like, wait, what is this? So they will scroll down through the page to find that and, you know, see the details or whatever. So the intriguing reward level is a great technique.
I don't know though. He's pretty good looking guy.
I also enjoyed the fact that he put effort into the video, right?
Yeah.
You could tell he had lighting, he had groomed himself in some way. He had, you can see him wearing a microphone. There's something charming about that other one that you did on the fly after the interview. There's something nice about the unpolished video. You know, it seems very honest and sort of like, hey, I'm a writer. This ain't what I do. On the other hand, it is nice to see those production values and somebody actually, you know, do the lighting and stuff right. Not right, you know, not necessarily right, but put effort into that is what I mean.
Fair enough. And Shepard is back, and it's the Shepard trade paperback volume #1 from now Black Caravan Comics as he moves from Caliber to Black Caravan under the Scout banner is available now, February, FEB 211497 through free previews. Call your local comic book shop. Now, Josh, I'm surprised you weren't even part of this. This is the Creators Connection Panel 1 from Buddy Scalera's group. I know you know about this.
I'm probably friends with many of the contributors. You know, the reason I don't know about this is because I haven't been actively doing comics lately. So this may as well be called FOMO for me. Like I look at this, I'm like, so let's see how they do.
Yeah, and it's 444 pages, downloadable now. Get your copy. There's no video, so you guys don't have to sit through it.
Oh.
It's just an ad for it because it's free. Yeah, there's no crowdfunding aspect to it. This I want to know your opinion on. This is Ego Raven, and this is brought to us by Daphne Lange. And here we go. Let's chase a unicorn hybrid. And it's always better if I have these ready because then I don't have the segues go so wrong. Oh boy, someone should fire me. Here's Ego Raven.
That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think I would like that comic book. That does not seem to suit my tastes, but it's a great Kickstarter video, and for the fans of this comic, we'll buy it. It showed a lot of the artwork. That's a very strong selling point in that it is done and ready to go. I'm guessing the creator did not want to get on camera, not comfortable with that part of it. Awesome. Don't. That's cool. That works. The text on screen was short and punchy and did not demand that I know a bunch of crap about unicorns and background and blah, blah, blah. It was like, return to a kingdom, but like, okay, I understand that. Return to a kingdom, done. The leaves falling across the video through the whole thing was such a great trick, because even when my more active, critical part of my brain was like, unicorns and magic and blah, 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 blah. Still, the animal part of my brain was just like, ooh, something to watch, something to look at. It kept me there as much as I wanted to pull out.
All right. So you're not.
Of course, I would still advocate for, like in the previous video, a drop in at the end with the creator or somebody who the creator knows who's comfortable on camera, just saying, thanks for watching this video. This is the product. This is the thing. You know, just to say it again, to have it out there, and to point me just towards some reward levels. But honestly, this one is terrific. This is, well, look, it says right there, already funded. So.
Yeah, I get you. And it's not, like you said, it's not really your thing.
It is absolutely not. I mean, honestly, you know, if it's a super cool story or whatever, I could definitely get into it. From what I see, it's not really for me.
All right. Unicorn, spelled differently, is a Scoot imprint, and it's May Everhart inherits an old horse from her long lost mother, only to discover. To find out the rest, go to Preview Worlds or order it from your local comic book shop at FEB 211502. This is kind of cool. You know Mike Watson.
I believe I do.
Yeah, you've been on you've been on one of my shows with him. We know each other. This is Mike Watson with Chat and Draw, and he'll explain it to you better than I ever could.
Yeah, do it. I'm digging it already.
There we go. This is Mike Watson's Chat and Draw.
Here comes a new challenger.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? I'm Mike Watson, and this is my Kickstarter for the Chat and Draw art comic book. Just a little bit of information if you don't know who I am. I'm the publisher of Short Fuse Media Group, the founder of Freestyle Comics, 1/4 of the Agents of the Nerdy, and the most enthusiastic person in comics. And right now, I want your help to bring the art comic book to life. Alright, this thing is a composite of over 100 episodes of my podcast show, Chat and Draw. And on that show, I bring other creatives on there. I virtually draw their character live on my iPad while discussing their comic books and their characters. That's cool, right? What's even better, I've collected all the artwork from the show into an art book. Not one, not two, but 3 art books that you can get through this Kickstarter. So, with the art book, the cherry on top would be the expansion of this show. Getting more people on the show, reaching out to new and different types of creatives, adding new upgrades to the show, new features, new fun little tweaks that I have planned. And we can only do this with your support. So please join me on this adventure as we take Chat and Draw to the next level and help build the fandom for indie comic creatives with over 100 brand new characters. Some you may know, and a lot you may not. You may discover your new favorite comic book with the Chat and Draw art book. And I want to help you do that. So, thank you. And stay epic, everybody.
What'd you think?
I thought it was just terrific. The drawing videos throughout were like it was like what I wanted the leaves in the last video to be. Like the falling leaves in the last video kept me interested while it was not my favorite topic. Whereas superheroes and indie creators, that is one of my favorite topics. So to see that those drawings happening while it's talking about stuff I enjoy, well, I'm like, oh, I know him. I know. Like, that was very cool, very engaging. He does the with your help and what we'll do. Those parts are very good. Stepping outside of the content of the video directly, the fact that he has an existing audience that is tuning into this already is freaking great. I guess I'm guessing there's some special reward levels because all these things involve other comic creators. I'm guessing he's got some levels where some of the artists and creators who are on the show do some kind of contribution. If that's the case, I would have liked to have known about it right up front. But yeah, that was great. I almost want to see it again.
I'm sure he would love that. I'm sure he would love the double dip on the show. And there's
the way it started slow with the one drawing of one character and then kind of like adding together, and then like that was so hooking. I so like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah, I mean, Mike Watson's got that energy. Even on a video, you can feel it come through the screen.
You know what else came off very well that it is a testament to his professionalism? He name dropped a couple of things that he's a part of, this thing and that thing, but he did not. I did not know what those things were that he name checked, but it did not feel exclusionary. You know, a lot of times somebody will be like, "Hey, shout out to all my buddies from the message board," and it feels like, who are you talking to? That's not me. You made me feel bad. You made me feel like an outsider. I'm already a comics fan. I'm not enough of an outsider. Not anymore, you know. But some that were wrapped in very smoothly. He was able to like name check his audience, bring them on board without making me feel excluded. I don't know exactly how he did that, but he did.
Yeah, you know, he's one of those guys, like you said, who just knows that he can own the moment and pivot right there live on screen. He just knows how. And another person, if you don't know these gentlemen, that you'd really appreciate this one. When you Catch the Crazies from Vera Sam, and he had an amazing story about him being in comics and leaving comics. He remembers back in the good old days when Comic Cons were more about what were they about? Oh yeah, comics.
You're an old man.
I am. I showed a picture. Yesterday I went to the gym and someone's like, "You look like a Viking now," because I guess they've seen me there a lot, and I kind of like that. I'm the old Viking who survived. I'm the old cranky Viking in the back of the ship going, "I don't have to row anymore. I've done my time of rowing."
No, you're the old cranky Viking on the internet complaining about how Comic Cons used to be.
No, I'm not complaining about how they used to be because they aren't around anymore. I'm hoping they come back. I'm sorry, baby. I'll never talk about you badly again. Just come back to me. All right, I'm going to have my breakdown in the back. We're going to watch Catch the Crazies now.
All right.
Hi, I'm Samuel, and today we're talking about Catch the Crazies. Issue number 2 was just launched on Kickstarter. And this is issue number 1. Here's a cover that I just did. That I did for issue 1. And this is the alternate cover done by Daphne Lage. And if you backed us on the first Kickstarter, you have these. And speaking of Daphne Lage, she's currently running the Kickstarter right now for Eagle Raven. So you want to go check that out. Talented artist, amazing creator. What will you get with issue 2? Well, fans can expect to see Sam lose his mind. You know, Sam is obsessed with being the #1 podcaster in the universe. And he makes a deal, almost like making a deal with the devil. He makes a deal, he challenges the universe to help him become the best podcasters. George thinks Sam's losing his mind. You get an introduction onto to some of the crazies and into the realm of Elsewhere. So there's a lot that happens in issue 2. Who would this book appeal to? It's cross-generational. So if you're a fan of slapstick humor, if you're a fan of like Jay and Silent Bob or Clerks or Mallrats, if you're a fan of Minions, the Gremlins, Animaniacs, you know, if you're a fan of podcasting, if you're a fan of comic books and gaming and cosplay, then you will be a fan of this, and you're definitely going to relate, especially if you've been at Comic Cons and you've been trying to hustle and get your stuff out there. All right, without giving it all away, and so here's what happens. You ever want to be the best at something, but you have to work hard, and you're being taunted by a group of guys that are good at it, right? If you played sports, you know what I mean. If you've done any kind of competition, you know what I mean. There's that group of guys that they currently have the cool factor, and you're trying to get that cool factor, but you have to work your way, and you have to eat a lot of crap. Well, that happens in this book. So aside from the male characters, there are some really strong female characters, and some of them take the lead. And we have Extreme Crazy, who is just over the top bonkers. She's just adolescent. She loves to play with her dolly and wreak havoc. But we have Hyper Crazy. Don't sleep on her. She knows how to play the game, and she uses her wits to manipulate the boys. Then we have this female detective that I can't give it away, but she is extremely smart, savvy, and she's on the hunt to figure out what this phenomena is. Update on the Crazies. Basically, issue 2 is already done and completed, and issue 3 is currently being illustrated by J.C. Grande, and the goal is to have several trade paperbacks, collected editions. So we're going to have volume 1 and volume 2 of Catch the Crazies, and the goal is to eventually spin off into the Crazies and hopefully get it into a publisher's hands. But if not, we will be utilizing print-on-demand services, and if need be down the road, finding a distributor to get it into retailers. And this is why we need you. We can't do it without you, and we thank you all who supported our first Kickstarter for Catch the Crazies issue number 1, and for all of you new to Catch the Crazies, you don't want to miss it. The $25 first day pledge, we kicked off today. You get issues 1 and 2, but there's a lot of levels where you can get caught up on the Crazies, and there's some levels where you get sketch cards illustrated by me, yours truly. And there's some levels where you get to write your own script of the Crazies, and I illustrate it for you, and it gets published in the book. So thank you all. Please pledge today. We appreciate you, and hopefully you stick around with us through the long haul, because it's only the beginning. Catch the Crazies.
When two podcasters make a deal to make their podcast the #1 podcast in the world, they summon the help of something supernatural and quickly learn the truth to the old adage, be careful what you wish for, lest it come true.
I am enjoying the hell out of the book. How does it feel, guys?
All right, I'm going to let you do the review. Mike does want to know, what comics do you enjoy? We'll answer that right after you give the critique of the video.
I liked this video. What do you think my critique is going to be, Rob?
Honestly, you're always hit or miss with me. Like, that's why I love having you on. I don't know how you're going to see it, and I love that different point of view. Mind you, he was on our show on a Sunday, and on impromptu, we just started Backer Pause in the middle of the Sunday Comics Brunch, put his video on, and at the point, it was like 11 minutes, and we all tapped out after about 30 seconds because he started it completely different. But we kept playing it because he was on the show, and he was nice enough to, out of nowhere, play this with us without any preparation. And he got to this point where there was a really good, solid point towards the end. And I was like, well, this part's really good. So he chopped up the original video to make this. So I really appreciate it personally. So I don't see a lot wrong with it, other than maybe I could see someone going, well, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. That weird little drop in at the end is bad. Does nothing. I will say that shouldn't be there.
We know the people on that stream.
Still, that doesn't I understand you want that.
Josh is like, I'll sit and have a beer with you, but you ain't getting away with it.
While I was monitoring my reactions to this video, there was a point where I started to be like, this sounds a little scripted. I wish he would go a little bit more emotional. And literally, like, as soon as I thought that, there was an edit, and he did the direct appeal. He was like, thank you so much for watching. Like, that stuff was really good. It had that nice Kickstarter feel of the slightly awkward artist, which totally works on Kickstarter. You don't need to be a show model professional or whatever. The talking parts could have been a little cut, but they were great. And once we have a pretty good idea what him and his studio look like, we don't need to keep seeing him. You can put some more artwork up across the video. I'm not saying cut yourself out. I'm saying keep my eyes busy. Some of the other videos had great examples of that. Other than that, I feel like he hit all those points really hard. And if he stays, this was good. This was real good.
All right. And that's big praise, considering we have Josh Stahl here today. pretty nice today, actually. I gotta give you credit. You've been a good sport about this, and some great insight. We have some pretty good videos, I have to admit. This is a good class of videos. I have seen the level begin to rise with creators. We were giving credit to that. This show, I was telling you before we started the show, people are actually watching this and learning because they want to be on the show and they don't want me to be ripping. And it's always me. Like I'm just here. I'm just the announcer voice. I don't even put my picture up. But I get blamed for all you guest judges and what you say. All they remember is me. I'm going to start hiding my voice as something different every week. But here we go. This is the brand new one. This is just given to us as of today, believe it or not. So I'm pretty excited to see your reaction. This is someone I just met. Actually, believe it or not, someone had actually reached out to me. A little background on this. Someone had reached out to me and said, hey, I think this creator could use some help. He's got a great career. He's done some amazing stuff. He's worked even on Bob's Burgers. I think that this is a creator you should be paying attention to as an advocate. So we're working on getting him on Sunday Comics Brunch, where he might actually draw some Bob Burger stuff this Sunday. So here we go. This is Vampires versus Blood Knights.
My name's Angelica. I'm a dancer. Exotic dancer. It was supposed to be temporary. I fell on hard times. I was almost out. Almost. Until a few nights ago. I was bitten by a demon. Or a vampire. Or a vampire demon. Whatever it was something evil. I blacked out. When I came to, everything was different. Before I could realize what was happening to me, I noticed I was changing. My body. I had powers. Strength. Agility. Teeth. Claws. I had abilities I couldn't control. I was awakened to the darkness. To a nocturnal world of monsters. Demons, and Nosferatu. I was told I'm part of an ancient scrolled prophecy known as the Vampire Verses, that I'm some chosen one. I was warned there were 3 secret vampire clans who all wanted to use me in a sacrifice, for a ritual. Some ancient blood rite. I can't even grasp what's happening to me. I'm constantly hunted. I'm completely alone. I can't trust anyone. Or anything. If I'm not careful, I'll soon be dead. If I'm not already.
What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I'm going to be a little brutal, like you were saying. So this one, I think I don't like saying this, but I think I could fix this in one edit. It starts off with, my name is Angelica. Boom. Then it tells all this information that does not influence my decision to buy or not buy the comic. Honestly, I got pretty bored in the middle. And then when the narration starts to wrap up, she says, I'm always hunted. I can't trust anyone. I live by night, or whatever it is. If you cut from, my name is Angelica, to, I'm always hunted. I live by night. Monsters are after me and there's demons. Done. I do not need to know what a vampire is and how a vampire works. The fact that the title says vampire, and then they take time in the video to say things like, I was attacked by a creature and woke up with mysterious new abilities. It's like, I know what a vampire is. Don't like that part was like, and I get it. The artwork was really cool looking. The artwork is going to sell the book. that story is cool. It's a cool story. So the creative team want to get that in there. What I want to tell them is we, the readers, do not need to know that. All we need to know is that it's a cool, sexy, violent vampire book with a bunch of monsters and blood. Like, good enough. All those details in the middle. That's the phrase, Rob, kill your darlings. I believe this is a case of the creative team not wanting to cut things that they know they love. And like, I get that. I know you don't want to cut it. It's hard to make that choice. Do I cut this page or this picture or this moment, or like, cut it all? Just tell me give me enough information to make me want to scroll down that page and look at the other stuff, and I'm good.
All right, that makes sense. I actually really like it, believe it or not. I love the art. The art reminds me of, the 90s and that, so I'm a sucker for the art. But I get your point.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it looks... Listen, the fans that buy this book are going to love it, right? It looks like exactly what it is. It looks like a large pizza with pepperoni. It's like, if you like pizza with pepperoni, you're going to love pizza with pepperoni. Like, that is good. So consider this. Fans of this book are going to jump on and love it. Fans of the genre, the style, blah, 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 are going to jump on and love it. So they don't need to be sold on all those vampire details. People who are not fans of this genre, they're not going to come in. There's not enough here to make me go, oh, you know what? I don't like sexy, violent horror comics, but this one might be the one that changes my mind. That doesn't seem to be what this book is going for. There's no need to work hard to explain the premise. We know... The fans of this book know what it is, right?
I think so. But, I'm impartial sometimes just because of the fact that I do appreciate, you don't always see the characters talking in it. And I think that's what I like about it, is that this is narrated by the character and I'm following her journey. So I'm getting to know her. You don't see that in Kickstarter videos where you're getting to know the character and her point of view. I kind of dug that. I did.
I started off not liking that, just cause, no reason. I was kind of like, eh. And then I came around to it, and then honestly, it bored me because too often she used the device of, I was told, blah, 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 blah. I was told, blah, 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 blah. That's just exposition. It was like, I don't need exposition. I've read comics before. I know that this beautiful woman who turns into a vampire is going to battle the forces of darkness. I know that. All you need to tell me is it's not a comedy. It's not like, just zero it in. Show me the genre. I can see that this is like 90s, 2000s style, sexy gore, fun. Like, it is cool. That is cool. I don't need to be told.
But that's you.
I don't benefit from that information about what the nature of the conflict is.
But
if they just said dark forces arise and she has to battle them, I'd go, cool, I'll find out what that is when I'm in the book.
No, but let me ask you in reverse, and then we're going to get to it. If you didn't know what a vampire was, though, you're a little older like me. You're long in the tooth. What about the younger generation that honestly might not have seen vampires this way? They have seen like the sparkly ones from Twilight. They haven't really seen this side of it. There hasn't been a Buffy in a while. So this might be an opening door too.
Right, but they still don't need the, I had new powers and agility. I could see in the dark, and I'd create, like, those facts are barely even interesting. They're like, it's like if it were a superhero comic and he was like, so then I put on a costume. Like, we know that's what superheroes do.
Yet there's been how many times we've seen Spider-Man and Batman's origin at this point.
And I'm not saying anything about that is bad or undesirable or blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying we don't need to take up attention real estate in a Kickstarter video. You only have my attention for so long. You don't need to describe those kinds of rules. You can just tell me scary forces, dark forces arise. Mike, I'm a big fan of superhero comics. Like, I'm not a big fan of every single superhero comic, but if you just say superhero, I go, ooh. I like crime comics. I also really like just kind of like personal stories and things like that. I don't like the answer to your question. I generally don't like science fiction and fantasy. So like the one where I felt bad saying it like that was the I forget the title, the unicorn comic, the like Yeah, that is not my genre. That kind of fantasy genre. If it's a superhero, I'll forgive a lot of story problems because I just like seeing superheroes run around and do stuff. I don't have that same feeling for fantasy creatures. So fantasy creatures are working on the opposite. They have to work hard and be extra good, get me over that hump, because I don't come into it with that. I'm not giving them that benefit of the doubt. Does that answer your question, Mike?
I think there's some insight in there that's pretty good. And Roland Man said, whoop, thanks for the feedback. So Roland Man liked what you said about the feedback on there.
Well, which video was his?
The double feature, the Blue Beetle, John Crowther.
Like, the comics look great, Roland. Like, it looks like you're going to do what you're going to do. It looks great. If I had to give you some straight up advice, poll an audience, find your audience. It sounds like, and I'm just going because you're here and we're talking, it sounds like you're advertising to yourself. You're saying what would make you love it. That is great. That is a great idea. That is a great approach. Take a minute, step back, and say, who else do I need to reach? Do you need to modify it to reach the Josh Dahls of the world? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe, like, a lot of the stuff that I've done and do, I target it towards, I am the target audience. So if I make it the thing that I want, then I've got it. For things that are outside of me as the target audience, that's where I go to the stuff. So, I apologize. It sounds a little hot. It doesn't sound harsh. It's okay. For your next videos, do it targeted at yourself, and then fully take a step back and say, okay, how can I target this at, and pick a demographic. In fact, pick an avatar of a person, design your perfect new target audience, and say, okay, clearly you got the middle-aged men thing locked down, and think, could I modify this to appeal to millennial women digital readers? And just run through it. If you can find a hook for a new audience, do it. If you run through that checklist and go, you know what? I would have to stretch really hard to appeal to that new audience. That's not what the book is about. I'm going to stick with my niche. Perfect example, that unicorn book I was talking about. Maybe those creators do want to prove that theirs is the unicorn book that would appeal to me. Maybe they really want to reach hard to get me as an audience. That is a stretch. If they're willing to put the effort in, and they're like, lots of books have done that and it works. If that's not your niche, you don't need to cast a wide net. One of the cool things about Kickstarter is you can go right in and find your specific audience, like that exact niche. So I don't know, Rob, I'm just rambling because I haven't done one of these in a while, and I don't know any people who aren't dogs, and I just like talking.
And it's been one of those years. I get you. It is like not a calendar, but like a 12-month period. Yeah, it's been.
If after this you want to do some therapy, and we can just stay on here and just like.
Maybe we'll do it off camera just for Josh's sake. All right, so we're gonna move on. Trish says, I love the no pause on the vampire video. I don't think Josh has hit pause yet today.
I would have slowed down and tuned out a little bit here. I've been lax on it.
Yeah, he's been nice today. And Trish wants to know, has an Aeon Flux vibe and Vampire the Masquerade feel? For me, we backed it at the highest level to get OA, original art, by the way, for those watching. So, yeah, and it is one of those things, but what if you had teens growing up with only shiny vampires? Yeah, and it's true. Like, that's kind of like if you have younger kids, and we have to remember to be open to newer audiences. Like you said about Roland, and you're reviewing as a judge for yourself, which is fair because this is about Josh Dahl, not about the bigger market. I could just argue the point. I could see why saying some of those things would kind of matter, especially if she's through the character that vampires are new. I just saw the value in it in a different way, but that's the great thing about this program. Different points of view. You're always
so exactly this. So this is kind of like just a rolling experiment on this. So if I'm thinking, okay, I want to go after the Twilight audience, which is probably even a little out of date now. Probably that's like too old. So like whatever the current thing is, I think, okay, what is their expectation of vampires? Is that they're sort of public and romantic and beautiful. So then I would focus on just flipping that, right? Because I think that audience, they don't need all the information. They just need the thing that goes, ooh, that's a new take on it. You know what I mean? It's like if you, because my thing is superheroes. Like when superheroes started to have pouches and gloves and gear on their superhero suits, the audience kind of went like, ooh, this is different. This isn't what I normally know. Why does he have pouches? Right? Or like every time those things kind of change. So if you just want to like intrigue the Twilight audience or younger vampire audiences, they don't need, whatever. I'm not going to apologize again. Like with the superhero pouches and gear and all that stuff, I didn't need to hear like, because it's more realistic, this version of the superhero is going to carry handcuffs on his belt. And so therefore we've created a pouch in which those handcuffs can go. And it has an actual clip and a buckle because we want to communicate to you, the reader, that we're taking the realistic details very seriously. The costume will be slightly uncomfortable and the muscles strain and blah, blah. Like all I need to, I see those pouches and I go, oh, this could be different. Then it's up to the creator to impress or disappoint. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, for the vampire thing, it could be as simple as showing a surprising degree of violence. And I go, ooh, I'm used to romance. Violence is a different list. Or something, a more personal moment, something just to show this is different than what you know. After that, it's up to me. Once I know it's different than what I know, my curiosity will take me there. You don't need to tell me exactly how it's different.
And Mike James says to us, the book started in the 90s. That's why I probably like it so much. I'm a 90s kid. I can smell the newsprint on it. And I love newsprint. I have nothing against newsprint. I can't wait for comics to go back to newsprint. I'm telling you right now, I'm saying it in 22, I think Marvel and DC will go back to newsprint.
I'll say this. You know me, Rob. I'm controversial. Not only do I not like sci-fi and fantasy, I don't like nostalgia. Generally, if one of your selling points is nostalgia, I'm out. That said, the 90s quality of those books is very tasty. Mm-hmm. That is tasty vintage 90s, which I enjoy for its quality. Not because it's taking me back. It's not the throwback nostalgia that's making me enjoy it. I look at it and go, ooh, that's an aesthetic that I enjoy.
I'll be honest, Josh, I never left the 90s. Everyone else left, not me.
Not everyone, Rob. All right, what do we got here?
I will not play this because it is very loud and it'll hurt anyone who has headphones in. So I'm going to play it with diminished volume on my things. So I'm turning down my volume on my computer so you guys hopefully won't hear it as loud. And I'll edit the volume on it because it's very loud. But here we go. This is Driver 8. If it plays. Come on, Kickstarter. There we go.
Okay, I like that. I like that quite a bit. It was a good example of the intriguing that I was talking about. That is the level of detail I would have liked to have seen from the Vampire Versus. That just, ooh, what's going on? Some technical? Wait, I think this is a sci-fi thing, and there's some blue creatures. Like, cool. What I would have wanted here is a drop in at the end before this last title card where it's just like, hi, thanks for watching the video. Back at this level and get this reward. You know, like some sort of personal thing at the end. I would like that. I would like to know, you know, the technical, this is a 5-issue series and blah, blah. I need a few facts, right? I criticized the last video for giving too many facts. This one has too few facts. I need about 4 or 5 facts at the end. Who made it, what it is, what I'm going to get, and what's a cool thing.
All right. The music is annoying, and I know everyone had paused it, so I was nice enough not to play it at full steam. It is very loud, and if the creator here is watching this, you have to go in and trust me, it is very bad. It almost gave me a headache this morning. So you don't want that. There are people who will listen to it. And imagine if it's blasting in your ear and you have headphones in, you're going to walk away from that Kickstarter right away because now it's annoying you.
Right. Especially thing like, yeah. Headphones. Yep.
All right. So we have, I think, 2 more today. Oh, yeah, we have this one. Okay. So I did an edit of this. He has an 11-minute video. We don't let that kind of video play on this. So this is Trial by Fire. I cut up the video. This is my version of his video cut down and made an enjoyable bite size for this program. So if you don't like the video, I am the one to blame. Fair enough?
All right, hold on. I gotta walk through because I've already been talking about this. It starts with the 90s. The 90s on back. The 90s are back. That's not fun.
I think it's just a typo.
It is a typo. So I'm like, nostalgia. Then it says sci-fi. So I'm like, it's sci-fi. Then it's superhero. So I'm like, oh, okay. I like the kind of graffiti-looking font. I don't know what that has to do with the title. The 90s are back. I'm already like, but let's see where it goes.
All right. So here we go. Here we go.
All right, everybody. It is Peter A. DeLuca, a.k.a. Pad, a.k.a. the Pop Culture Pope, a.k.a. the Eclectic One, a.k.a. the Sketchbook King. We're talking about my Indiegogo Trial by Fire. And this. What is this? This is why we're here. This is a young teenage Peter rocking and rolling in high school, trying to make it happen, trying to break into comics, trying to get that comic book note off. Everyone, this is the inspiration for everything you're about to see. Let's get to it. Oh my god, here we go. What do we have here? We have 2 different scripts actually. These, look, just straight dialogue, scenes, world building. That's one. We have a second one right here. Now, there is a lot in here that is in the pages and vice versa, because I go back and forth when I just build out my content, when I build out my material. I want the stories to be as rich as possible. A little bit of a quick budget. That's right, that's my Indiegogo budget. Let's get some of this. TBF cover, everyone. Now, I don't like what I'm seeing on Indiegogo. I don't like the colors that I used. I don't know. I think I'm going to either redraw this or recolor it, one or the other. But I still like the image. I like this. Cover idea number 2. This is a little bit more dynamic. You see everyone in motion. Anzio, Davidson, Pitbull, and my boy, Meatball. Okay, this is our credits page. So this is going to be inside flap. You're going to open the book, inside flap, and it's going to give you a quick description of who everyone is. This is my dedication page. Now look, I'm doing this my way. This is going to be the biggest ash can ever to roll through Indiegogo or...
Watch the full video now on Indiegogo. Now remember, I cut this up and I did it quickly just to show something. There's a much longer video that explains a lot more.
That one was already like an hour long.
Yeah, that was shortened, I promise you. But it hit what he was doing, and it goes to the fact of how energetic he is and how much he's actually...
Hold on. I don't know what that was. Was that a sketchbook? Was that a comic book? Was that an animated thing? Like, I do not know what he was offering. I don't know who those characters were or why I would care about them. I don't know what that first page he showed us, that first page of artwork. I have no idea what that was or why. Like, the format of it, looking down at that art table, was great. Right? If he had been bringing through artwork like that way, that's a great way to be in your studio and not actively on camera. I don't know why he would trash talk his own artwork on the video.
I thought that was genuine, saying that he could do better. I kind of appreciated that.
it was genuine, but it was so at that point I was so confused by not knowing what I was seeing or why, or like that when he said he didn't like it, I was like, well, then why would I like it? You know?
No, I get you. And hey, look, I take the blame for the video cutting it up the way I did. That was what I found most interesting, so that was my.
Yes. And I've been very harsh on this video because I was confused. So I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm saying I need some grounding at the start of the video. You gotta tell me what I'm about to see. Oh, hold on. Not in every case. If you hook me like some of these videos did with a lot of dynamic sound and light, I'll just follow along and then tell me what it is at the end. If you want to sit and talk to me about something, that is great. I love that. I engage. I liked like the video of this dude talking, like that was good. I don't know what it is. So every second I spend still not knowing what it is, my frustration mounts a little bit. You know what I mean? It's a give and take. It's a game, right? Because you want a little bit of frustration, because that frustration and curiosity are basically the same thing, right? So if you pull me back a little bit and keep me at the level of curiosity, I'll follow you through it. You know what I'm saying? So much information, I don't have enough to hook a curiosity into, and then it just becomes frustrating. Like, why aren't you telling me what this is? Why aren't you telling me what we're doing here?
No, I agree. I did tell him. I did tell him he needs a shorter video. I completely agree he needs a shorter one. I just don't want him blamed for the shorter version that I gave.
I understand.
That was just me giving you a glimpse into an 11-minute video, and Mike even said I would be hard-pressed to watch an 11-minute video without clear purpose. You need that elevator pitch. It always starts with
it's just some facts. Just say, hi, this is my name. I still don't know the dude's name. He gave like 5 different alter egos, but didn't like clearly. I didn't notice. But first view. Just start off, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm going to tell you about the book that I'm kickstarting. It's a 5-issue miniseries about superheroes set in the 90s. Now I'm going to tell you about my process of creating. Boom, then cut to the drawing board. Then I know what I'm there for, and then all my curiosity and interest is rewarded. Then it's like, woo, now I'm getting to see this backstory, this thing this guy just told me about. And it's not like, what is this? Is this something that like, it's that hard line between feeding curiosity and feeding frustration. You got to go right there. This one for me tipped a little over into frustration at not knowing what I was seeing.
This was from Peter A. DeLuca, and that is who brought it to us. And here is the actual 11-minute video that you guys can watch. Again, this was just my opinion on it. We are at the end of the show.
Hold on. I want to add, I was a little harsh on that, on Peter's video. I should say I've paid a lot of attention to Kickstarter. I don't pay much attention to Indiegogo. So maybe that format, that kind of artist table format is more
what the
audience there is digging into. Or maybe they're, you know what I mean? Different audiences look for different stuff, different things work in different formats. Again, the artwork looked beautiful. The artwork was really cool. It's cool on its own without even it doesn't have to be 90s throwback. You don't need to like, but that's me talking. I don't like nostalgia. So, for me, seeing the 90s thing on there is kind of a negative thing because I don't like nostalgia, but it turns out I did like it because I do like nostalgia. So that's a tough call. The book looks really cool. Just give me some facts to know about it right up front, and then maybe a little tag at the end. This was this book, this did this. So I like it. Do more. It's very cool.
All right. So you remember Keith Thomas. I know you've met him.
Him again? Oh, boy. That guy's a real piece of work.
Well, unfortunately, we did lose him when he died to stomach cancer a few years ago.
Are you joking?
No. You didn't know Keith passed away?
No, I said a horrible thing about a person because I thought you were going to say something nice. Not that that's not nice. I feel awful. I don't actually, like... I've seen that name.
Making it worse. You're making it worse. Let me just finish the promo and move on. You didn't know. That's fine. That's okay.
I was completely messing with you, Rob, and I wound up speaking ill of the dead. So I'm going to shut my mouth for a little bit.
But he's a creator, and we tease each other. That's just what creators do. So what Josh did was nothing abnormal, and he'd appreciate it actually. But I know Keith well enough to know that he would have laughed at that and be like, "Yeah, Josh knew exactly who I was." So, so he would. That's why it's not a big deal. He would appreciate it.
Okay.
This is a bittersweet moment for me. I've been promoting this book for all 6 issues. When I evacuated for a hurricane, and when Keith first got sick, his book was what I took with me on the hurricane, because he had signed it, and I'd met him at New York Comic Con, and he was a big advocate for comics back in the day, and he inspired me. He was one of the first people, along with Josh, that I really leaned on for their opinions and stuff, and grew throughout. He was part of the New York connection from New York Comic Con and all that.
And that story about the hurricane, I do remember that now. Yeah. Now I'm back on board.
Okay, yeah, this is the epic finale, and it's sad to know that this is his last written work. But look, we've gotten to issue number 6. There's a fan base. We have lived up to the promise we made, Keith. I hope he's looking down, smiling, and knowing that we lived up to everything we promised him. CB Zane gets almost all the credit for it. His amazing art has driven this project to new levels. And congratulations to both of them. I can't wait to watch this. I have every one of these books. I'll get the trade. This is one of those collector things to me. I will forever miss my friend Keith Thomas, but he's done an amazing job. He was a master storyteller with this. He made Into the Suck. I can't wait for this to be a movie. How hasn't this been picked up yet? That comes
All
back.
right, let's see it. Let's see it. Stop talking. Let the work speak for itself.
There's no video yet. It goes to this is coming soon section.
Okay.
So this comes.
Who is doing this? Who is making the video? How is this coming to life?
I don't know because it's coming soon.
Okay.
We'll know tomorrow. Come back to me tomorrow. Me and you'll go on video and we'll watch it together.
Fair enough.
And Hybrids. This is Luke Stone. And we actually have a video for Luke Stone. So you're going to be so happy. You get to watch another video. This one, though, I'll be honest. This one he brought me and I gave some opinions. And he sent this back to me. And I'll just say, wow. Here we go.
A group of heroes supercharged with Nephilim DNA are the only thing standing in the way of an evil corporation at the center of a human trafficking ring and elite drug empire. The danger ramps up when a deadly trap is set for our protagonist. It's an epic clash of good versus evil when they meet on the killing field. Be sure to check out the action and get part 1 of the killing field during this 28-day event exclusively on Indiegogo.
What do you think?
I think that does everything I've been saying it should do. Right? I mean, it didn't really hit the product at the end, but maybe Indiegogo doesn't really do that in the same way. I would have liked to have the thank you and the, hey, check out our cool backer levels, blah, blah, blah. But as far as an ad for the product, that's very good.
All right.
I like the art style. It looks cool. It's fun. It tells me what it is. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of surprises from the genre or content. You know what I mean? It looks exactly like what it is from what I can tell.
But there is some depth to it. I'll give it that because I've been in the background of this because it's a Terraform book, so we get a chance to look at the early editions of it. Well, Terraform is distributing hybrids through our when there is a con circuit again, it'll be on all the hybrid. All the Terraform tables. You'll see hybrids. So, and he's a founding member, so of course we're looking at each other's work, helping each other out. These things are in Indiegogo demand. Russ Leach's Only Death Can Save Us. Johnny Phantasm, you know Johnny. He has the Johnny Phantasm action figure. This was awesome. This is a great video. I wish I still had it. You'd love it. Speaking of 90s nostalgia, this video is 90s nostalgia.
All right.
Seasons volume 1 and 2. And the coming soon, ignore that. And if you need coverage, just reach out to us and we'll give you the coverage you need. Mike says real quick on the way out, CB Zane will be surely making the video for the intro. Into the Suck, and I'll be getting their catch-up tier. And yeah, I mean, that's an amazing thing. They do. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, and I know this is going to go over really poorly with Josh after today's show. CB Zane doesn't always make a video. To be honest, to be upfront. Into the Suck has got such a good fan base. They don't need a video.
Yeah. I mean, if your fan base is coming in and you don't, like, hey, if it works, it works. You can't argue with success. Yeah, I don't think it breaks my heart that comic creators have to learn to become video editors in order to sell their comics. So if you're selling your comic without having to spend your creative energy learning a whole new skill, screw it. Don't learn that new skill.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to just play you a quick bump and remind you about the power of $1 and how important it truly is. Never underestimate the power of a single dollar. Just one single dollar can help make dreams come true. Every dollar is a declaration of support and belief. It helps the creators and the teams behind the book. Just $1 helps create new worlds and keeps creators creating. And if you're going to be creating something on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, get Kickstarter for the Independent Creator, second edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding by Madeline Holly-Rosing and Christy Shin. It is an amazing book that will help you navigate the ins and outs of crowdfunding.
Absolutely. I recommend this strongly. And because, Rob, I feel a little bad about being harsh today, I will say this. You've convinced me with your $1. So if anyone is listening and watching this, anyone who contributes, no, not anyone, I'll say up to $10. I'll match any dollar donations that people make to these Kickstarters right now. If you're on Kickstarter and you show me that you watched this video and you donated $1 to one of these projects, I'll throw $1 on top of yours. Up to 10. I'm only spending $10. Come on, let's not get crazy.
Okay.
You get me though?
Well,
So
that's cool.
If you want to force me to contribute to one of these projects that I wasn't really too into, show me that you watched. Like,
no, real quick. What was your favorite one today? Because you're going to be the backer to pick. So if you had to pick out of everything, what stood out? What's going to be this week's backer? The project to back this week that you're going to pick. So, do you want a recap of all the stories that we saw?
Yeah, let's run through it.
All right, so let me move up the screen. I'm doing this in the background so you guys don't have to actually watch the quick scroll. So you don't have that eye thing that I'm getting right now. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off back to the screen with, and we're going to put Josh on the screen without me. Oops, since he's our guest now. And I should have probably done this earlier in the video, but didn't. So, okay, Josh, we had Compendium of Dread.
I like that one.
We had the Omni Kickstarter.
Pretty good.
We had the Naked Cannibal Campers. Today we had Teen Beetle and Switchblade, the Silverline double feature. We had Fractured Shards. We had the Ego Raven Unicorn story.
Which looks like a fantastic comic. It does.
Chat and Draw from our good friend Michael Watson.
What was that one called?
Chat and Draw.
Okay.
We had Catch the Crazies. The Vampire Versus Blood Rights, where you clearly didn't want to be told what a vampire is. You knew what a vampire was. Driver 8.
Want to be told.
Driver 8. It's the punk side of you. Just don't tell me what to do. Trial by Fire. And that was it. That was the official candidates for this. But you can also pick, because Into the Suck is going live tomorrow. That's a candidate.
No, my favorite of these was the sketchbook one. That was just like all around. That was the strongest. It intrigued me the most. It was the most technically proficient, I thought, in my opinion, in my unexpert opinion. It was. Yes, that's my pick.
The Vampire Rises? I mean,
no, the sketchbook one. The Mike Watson.
Oh, Mike Watson, Chat and Draw. Gotcha.
Yes,
okay.
Chat and Draw. Sorry.
There 2 sketchbooks, so I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so Chat and Draw
right.
becomes the backer for the week, guys. If you haven't backed this, go out there. And if you want Josh to own Unicorn comic books, all you have to do is back it and show it to him, and he'll throw $1 to that creator and any other book you guys back. You have to prove you backed it today and you watched the program. But
I'm not going to demand a receipt or anything, but I don't want to get hustled. So just
no hustle. Just see your backer and you watched it. And obviously you watched the show or you wouldn't know it's a deal.
And whatever. Worst case scenario, if I get scammed, I'll end up spending $10 on comics. So,
and you win anyway, because you just helped the industry that you're part of continue to grow. When's the next project we're going to see you in and say goodbye on your way out?
My next project is a long way off, Rob. I'm still working on getting my other stuff together. So let's put that at about 6 months. Until then, I'm around, guys. Thank you so much. Rob, thank you. Thanks, everyone. Good luck on your projects. Everything looks great.
And this is just breaking news for our friends up in Tallahassee, Florida. Be careful. The weather is now saying, this is just for the live audience, that there are tornadoes and one just hit the airport. So everyone in Tallahassee, please be careful. Take shelter until the danger passes if you are watching. Because I know that there are people from the Tallahassee area who do watch this show in the Florida area. So please take cover. Happy to see you. Happy to see you today, Josh, says Mike. So we can't wait for Josh to come back with this comic. Hopefully we'll all be at New York Comic Con this year. With that, we're out of here. This has been a production of CNW.